XP on the first round. It's just the Alright, so I'm back. It's about 10 p.m. I do apologize for those who were expecting me to come around at 9 p.m. Unfortunately, I did ended up getting hungry after like trying to work out my Fire Emblem Heroes stream because that had some problems in terms of being able to get its speed to work properly. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get um, a solution set out, so I decided to move on, and I'm back here as promised to live stream OSA or Otogi Spirit Agents, which is a really great game that I really enjoy playing. So I will start off by just going in. As you can see in the front cover, it's an adorable demon from the game, aka an anima, and the character's name is Muramasa. I do believe I'm already logged in. I just opened the app, so it should be working. So yeah, this is basically the format of the game. You have obviously an energy bar. There's also the character that you have set as your main character. So this is also similar to like how you have like friend support and whatnot. So this is basically the character that you have set for your as your help with the other friends can see. So I'm at full energy, so right now I might as well just do what I usually do. First of all, foremost, I'm just gonna get everything set. This is kind of like a daily thing that you would do. And so I'm just gonna do my typical daily routine, and then after that I'm gonna get into the actual gameplay. So usually what I do at this time of season, because right now we don't have an event going on, so this is like the time where players would tend to grind if they are the type of player to grind for points. So it's basically a repetition that you spend, and then afterwards I will go into other things. So just showing you how the game's formatted. You can go up to 5 demons. Right now I'm battling against another player. We're mostly in the same grinding group, so this is how we do things. If you guys have any questions, comments, or you guys want to just come in and say hi, there's a chat area that you could like place your comments in. It would be greatly appreciated to know that I have a responsive audience. I definitely enjoy responding to you guys as well. So I'm just gonna set it 4 times. So yeah, victory. This is the current way that people grind. And it's mostly for challenge points, and I will explain to you what challenge points are, I guess now, since this is a good opportunity. So obviously many games you have like characters, level ups and whatnot. So this is like a list of demons that we have. They're categorized into different parts. But then obviously one of the systems that we have is like merging, or like combining characters. And so so basically if you combine them, they will have their max cap increase. And one unique thing about this game is that it includes these orbs, which basically serve as a way to replace any merge. So basically you could use these orbs to merge any unit instead of using the same copy to merge, which is really great. Also one of the reasons why we grind for these points. Before this all grinding thing happened, we basically grinded for other things such as like levels and whatnot before events. But right now there's no event, so this is the perfect time to grind because there are a lot of events that come into place. For example, guild events, like solo events, and I'm also still way behind on like the story mode and whatnot because there's really not much that I really care to do for the story mode right now. Just like grinding to get points because this is a pretty competitive game, which comes into play in terms of like what we have as a world boss. And I'm not going to be doing the world boss yet because that has a recharge time, but I will do later. do it later because right now it's still recharging, and it's once per day. Hopefully though, hopefully though it will come soon. I will check the time, how long it would take. So let's see, world boss. Okay, I have about 1-2 hours left, so if I continue streaming that long, then I will be able to show you guys what it looks like. It's pretty fun, but then at the same time, depending on your team, you might have to restart multiple times. It's basically a forced close kind of thing, where you basically reset in order to be able to get the maximum points possible in terms of damage. That's its own entirely different battle style. So I mostly just streamed this mostly because I really like the game as a whole, and also I thought maybe like you guys might be interested because this game is mostly kind of like a collections game where you're basically trying to collect all these different styles of demons. And they're all adorable as well, but then they also have their own purpose where you're basically trying to battle with them. So let's see. How are the viewers going? Viewership. Okay. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or whatnot, it'd be great if you could like talk and whatnot. The chat room should be available on both YouTube and Twitch. So if you want, you could watch through those areas. That'd also be pretty great because then we could like talk from there. But for sure, that would be something that we could do right now. Let's see. What I will continue to grind since that's the majority of what I usually do at this point. I could also show you some other different kind of play styles or things that we would do in this game as well. Let's see. Let's go into this. In this case, I don't have a true guarantee of winning because there is a huge difference in power. I normally win, but then depending on my luck, it might not be so happening. It's like that. Hopefully I get a crit. Alright. So I won. So basically, the way this works, and you will see in a bit, challenge points, usually I get 20 from the previous ones that you saw, but in this case I got 25, and that's because of the huge difference in power. That's something that factors into play when you're trying to like battle and whatnot, and that basically helps me be able to get like additional points, which is also why I really like battling in that kind of style, because you don't have to grind as much as you normally would. Because the normal amount of points that you get if you're fighting evenly with your opponent is 10, but that's honestly not a lot and takes quite a lot of time. This is a lot easier because usually you only have about a week amount of time to be able to grind, and that can in its own right be pretty difficult because usually it's like 1 week of break, then you have then you have like another week of events, and then after that you finally have like 1 week to grind. So it's usually like 25% of your gameplay is based on grinding. Unless of course you choose not to participate in the events, then it honestly depends on like the rewards and whatnot too. So let's see, what else can I introduce you? So we have summons, obviously. I'm not going to spend these because there's this thing called like a daily lunchtime summon. So you will get one free summon every day. And I'm probably going to use this later on once I get into a real demon that I really want. So this is also another option. It's another form of grinding. Basically you could go into here, grind. The purpose of this one is to be able to get what we call magatamas, and they're basically for leveling up or enhancing. So that's another thing that it's pretty fun to do. If you want, I could also go to this. The playstyle is definitely different for these different types of grindings. Usually when I grind, I prefer to use like an Orpheus. That's the name of this character, because some demons in this game have the ability to boost your EXP values, and Orpheus is one of them. So you have all these different passive abilities and active abilities and whatnot, and that does play a huge factor into what you do. So here I'm just gonna grind. And bam. 5 is honestly not a lot, but that's okay. Since I'm mostly here to like just show you, and we get EXP. Honestly, as a game, there really isn't a huge difference between players in terms of like levels. For example, we have like some players going to like even the thousands. Here, maybe I can show it to you here. So for example, let's see, if we go into here, as you can see, there's really not much of a level. It's just strength. And so really the only significant part about level is the amount of energy you have. Other than that, there's really nothing else to it. But it usually takes quite a lot of levels before you get to the point where you start worrying about being against another player, like in this format where you're competing for like events and whatnot. But honestly, that's not really a concern. Mostly because, like, for example, I will show you here. You have all these rankings and whatnot, and honestly, it's really simple enough to get into specific whatever rankings that you're aiming for. And really, there's not huge concern for that. It's mostly the demons that you have rather than your levels. And over time, demons do get power creeped. So as you're continuing to play, it's not such a worry that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so behind. It's mostly a matter of luck and how much you spend in terms of time and energy into events, which is totally alright. So I basically explained the gist of how it works, so I'll just continue grinding. If you guys have any questions or anything, or if you guys want to chat or whatnot, that'd be another thing that we could do right now. Alright, so time to continue to grind. And one thing to note, like as you can see, I'm attacking players, but at the same time, like there is a recharge time before you can attack other players. And if they got attacked already, then you also have to wait for that to die off too. So there's no worries for that. Just gonna go through them. Let's see, can I attack anyone right now? Alright, I think I cleared the majority of them. Alright. So let's see. So this is also another type of healer. He was a previous event reward. He's alright. I never got him because that was also around the time when I first started playing. So I wasn't majorly investing in this game. It was definitely alright. If you want, you can also read guides and whatnot, because there's a lot of things about this game that there's like many different parts that you could probably look into, such as like the types of demons that would be good for this and that. Because obviously with different demons you have different abilities, and with different abilities they have to be suited for different events or like skills or just grindings. So yeah, I should probably use up the rest of my energy right now. So unfortunately it doesn't look like I'm doing so much in terms of how much I can contact. I just show you right now. That's probably could be more likely during times when there are actual events going on. So I think for now I might switch gears to like a different game. I mean, it's really great that I'm able to like come into here, giving you guys a live stream of what I really like to do as a game. But then honestly, this is also one of the reasons why I like this game, is that you don't have to invest so much time into it. Like for example, grinding like all these different levels and whatnot, because really that's not the point of the game. It's mostly the events where you actually spend some time in, which is where you would also spend like, for example, items and whatnot. So like for example, going to items, using up different items to be able to like get more energy to be able to do events. That's really the only time where you would actually spend an extraordinary amount of time. And I guess right now, since I have the summons count, and let's see. Alright, so I will have to make some space later, but that's alright. So free summons, it's honestly really easy to get points, as you saw earlier when I was donating to the guild, which is one thing that you could do. I'm not gonna do it, but then because that costs a lot right now, and it does go up in terms of cost for every 10 that you summon, or like for every single one you summon that you invest. But that's alright. So you get points to do free summons, and then if you go into here, I'm just doing 10 summons straight up, since you have to do 10 every time if you have 10 or more possibilities. So you have these kinds of demons right here, and you also have, if you get lucky enough, you get like 3 stars. And honestly, right now I'm max capacity, so I will sell this 3 stars, since we have multiple currencies in this game, and one of those is mochis. This picture of a mochi. And 3 stars, they're not good enough where you could be using them so much in like events or whatnot, but then they're good in that they give you mochis, and mochis is a currency, so you might as well sell that. And one thing I prefer to do with the other demons, since basically you spent money or the free currency that you get in the game, and I basically prefer to just invest them into like other characters. So let's see, she's a Divina. That's one of 3 categories. So we have 3 categories: Divina, Phantom, and also Anima. So I'm just going to do that. We level up. Just simple as that. There's no need to be too concerned with leveling up in this game. It's alright to be taking your time. She's not an Anima, but then I'm just gonna give her the Anima demons because I have nothing else to do with them, and they still contribute points, so I might as well. So let's see, I will continue summoning. I guess this time I can like show you like the slower version, what happens when we do this way. And they also do voice acting, which is really great. I should show you guys the voice acting later. Ooh, 3 stars. Oh, I definitely have to show you the characters now I think about it. This character descriptions and the voice acting is really great, honestly. Let's see. I actually have this demon as its max form, so like I merged him 4 times, and that's the maximum you could do, 4 times the merging. Mostly because he's I could actually use him during a specific event. Let's see, another one. And you can see they have 2 types of stats. They have an attack stat and they have an HP stat. And I could probably go more into details once we go through this summoning. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how summoning works. So I'm definitely going to have to fuse. I'm gonna fuse her since I still need to fuse her. And for the auto portion, auto is used mostly to be able to automatically place Magatomas in there. That's basically it. Ooh, Big Summon. I got super lucky here. So basically, Big Summon doubles the amount of EXP that you get in comparison to a normal summon. And it's just a random thing. Sometimes they have events that boost your big success rate. Let's see. Now, I think this would be a good time to get into the whole character thing. So this is like one character, for example. Character description. Ha! You're leaving yourself wide open. A spirit combining the powers of a monkey, tanuki, tiger, and snake, aka Nue. These animal powers give her incredible physical abilities, so she doesn't need any weapons. Instead, she pulverizes her opponents with classical martial arts skills, preferring to win by knockout. Her only flaw is that she gets hungry real quickly and then doesn't feel like fighting anymore. So yeah, they give descriptions like that, which is pretty funny. And also they do have like the typical characteristics of the actual spirit. And yes, some of these are based on like actual spirits and whatnot. For example, like if I were to go into, let's see, this character's name is Miss Santa. But obviously you could tell that this was a Christmas event that I got this. Someday I'm gonna be the real Santa. A Santa who is mistaken for Santa Claus, the hero of Christmas. Fortunately, Santa Claus has not come out in this game yet. She just happened to be passing by and wearing a red suit when she was mistaken for the jolly old elf himself. While helping out with cases at the Bureau of Occult, which is basically where you as a character are working, um, yeah, quote unquote working, or that's basically where you're getting your missions and that's where your story mode and whatnot comes into play. She has started training to become the real Santa Claus. While her methods may be questionable, nobody can doubt the sincerity of her determination. Maybe she really will become the real Santa someday soon. And then you have the event name that also comes into play. You also have their actual skill. So basically, as you saw earlier when I was like grinding, there were orbs that kept them passing in. Those orbs are used to use your skills. And you also have passive abilities as well. I don't have her up to that case, and I don't use her that much, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see, this is my first character that I fully maxed out. So basically, for 5 stars, your max level is 90, but since I merged her for 4 times, I was able to get her to 90. So yeah, you have like the description where could he have gone. I should give you the voice. So yeah, I really liked her when she first came out because her abilities were really great, especially when you're doing grinding or just like a bunch of relay battles. You know how like one battle there's like multiple turns and whatnot, like so you have multiple series of enemies. So yeah, her ability is really great for that. And as a Divina, if she's really supportive. This is one of the more meta dominating characters, especially back when she first came out, and also later, a few months later, when there were more elf characters that came out because mostly of her ability. And this was mainly the meta defining ability, Top Idol, sharply increases crit rate and significantly increases crit damage when one of the other elves is on the team. So basically, if another demon with the name word elf was in the same team, she basically got this ability to activate. Sharply increases crit rate basically means you have a 30% or more crit rate boost, and significantly increasing crit damage means you have a 50+% increase to the damage that you deal when you deal a critical attack. So those are basically quite amazing, honestly. Honestly, they're really great. She's currently like a limited edition demon, but they recently decided to implement a new system, and I will go into here. So added auctions. Specifically, recently they came up with like idea like, hey players, we'll give you the guys a survey. So basically the survey is about whether or not you guys want us to bring back limited edition characters. And I was like, yeah. So they basically decided that they would do that in like sets. So basically every once in a while they would like have like a certain number available that are available for a certain number of time again. So basically we have a second chance to get them. But then this is based on like players selling their limited edition demons and other players trying to buy them off. So for example, Titanium Elf for me, I mean I have her as a level 70, but the thing is I don't actually use her anymore because I have her at no limit breaks. So I have 2 choices, or actually 3 choices. Either I go into the summon, exchange for orbs, in which case would be able to be used on Titanium Elf. B, I don't use her at all, but I just keep her. Or C, I sell her off when the auction begins. It hasn't begun yet, mind you, but then if you guys decide to like play soon, it's best to start as soon as possible so you could grind mochis, because mochis is the currency that will be used in order for you to buy these limited edition demons. And honestly, it could get quite pricey depending on how popular they are. The first option is possible, but the problem is you have to, since I have no merges on her, I have to do this 4 times, and you only get 1 per month. And that really sucks, because I have another demon that I want to complete right now, and it's my Azidahaka. I'll show her. She's really great. She's basically similar to, she's basically almost the exact same thing as Titanium Elf, but slightly better, because she has these separated. I mean, it depends. It could be better or worse, because instead of an elf, she has a specific character called Angra Mainyu, which I do have, which is right here. They're both so adorable, honestly. Let's see, where is she? Where is she? Right here. Angra Mainyu. The name's Mainyu, and I'm absolutely evil. Spirit of a destructive being in Zoroastrian who loves to annoy those around her. That's so adorable. It's actually inspiring how she's willing to go to any length to bother others. Mikado's been making good use of her at the bureau. Mikado is actually and Mikado is your boss, and basically in your game. And she's happy just to see the pissed off looks on people's faces. Some say her arrival brought around the rise of Dictator Mikado. And the reason why I don't really use that second passive, as you can see here, this is basically the same exact ability as Titanium Elf, except they're separated into different parts. Which is a good thing because you get this guaranteed, but the problem is Agramine has no passives to really be used, while like other elves such as like, let's see, Platinum and Platinum Elf, so those kinds of characters I don't have because I didn't really do much for that event. I didn't rank enough to get those demons, but basically those demons actually had a passive that was somewhat useful, if you get what I'm talking about. So that's pretty much how it is for me. Let's see. If any of you guys want to like watch and whatnot, I could totally like talk to you guys and whatnot. It'd be really great, and we could definitely play together and whatnot. Because it's honestly a really fun game. I'm probably gonna move on in terms of the stream from one game to another, since it comes soon. But in any case, I would probably be coming back just to show you guys like how this world boss is doing. And I'm actually currently ranked right now 425, unfortunately. So sad. Because the difference between biggest prize and second biggest prize is huge. I've been getting this times 10 every single month. I'd like to be able to get into this times 20. And I do get in there right after I battle, but the thing is, that's usually, people will usually move on into to being able to like pass you again. So basically I have to be super lucky in order to be able to do maybe like one more attack over the other person. And just maybe. Because my damage output right now isn't enough. Like for sure. But that's alright. That's definitely alright. So yeah, I think I would do a little bit more grinding. Because let's see, we have how much more time left? So yeah, still 1 or 2 more hours left. So the thing is, when it says 1 hour, it means 1 to 2 more hours. Because it just doesn't show the minutes. Let's see, go to defense, yeah. So yeah, we basically attack each other over and over again. And that's totally fine because that's how we grind points. And one thing that you could do is you could steal soul stones, which is the easiest currency to get. But then the thing is you would take them back, so it's kind of like a give and take over and over again. So that's totally fine. Let's see, I think I'll just grind this last character, and then that should be it for me on this stream. Then on like 1 or 2 more minutes, I would switch over to a different game. Probably back to either Fate Grand Order or Fire Emblem Heroes. And also, I'm probably tomorrow. I think I might actually start another game because it's been a long while, but then I'm really tempted to stream one of the previous Fire Emblem games, like the original. I'm not really sure. I'm probably not gonna do like the original, like like the original Gaiden or something like that. That's really old. I don't know if they have where I'd get that, but probably like the GBA game since I do have that accessible to me. And I really enjoyed the game, so it might be like kind of like going back, exploring that. And honestly, it's definitely, if you play Fire Emblem Heroes, but you never played the Fire Emblem games like from this series, then I totally recommend that you play at least one of them. Because the thing is, the difference between Fire Emblem Heroes and the Fire Emblem is that the story in Fire Emblem is much better than the Heroes. But that's just me talking about Fire Emblem Heroes. Let me fuse these back. So go back to Angra Mainyu. So adorable. So adorable. I will fuse the rest of them. Oops. Oops, silly me. Accidentally pressed cancel. And then got that. So yeah. That was really fun, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I will definitely come back in like an hour for this game specifically. But then I think let's move on to going into, I think, actually, because I still haven't fixed the Fire Emblem Heroes game, so I think I'll move on back to Fate Grand Order. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So let me exit out of here. Let me go into Fate. And no, Fire Emblem Heroes did not work yet. Oops, I think I'll have to fix this. Alright, I'll log off the stream for now. I will be back in 1 or 2 minutes. Hopefully anybody who's watching then will be still here. I will be back. Hopefully you guys will continue watching.